So our first hand here, under the gun +1. We're playing Big O. It's pot limit. Under the gun goes ahead and limps, and we look down at some spades, king high. We've got 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna want to see a flop with this hand, but the button goes ahead and pots it. So it's up to 25. The small blind and big blind both called. Under the gun calls, and we're priced in. We're going to see a flop and hope for some spades, maybe an ace and some low cards. And we get none of that. So sitting here with third nut low, thinking about, maybe if we hit a nope. Oh, that guy jams. So under the gun calls him, snap calls him for all in as well. It would be all in for us to call, so we go ahead and make the easy fold. The button goes ahead and jams all in, so it's gonna be a three-way run out, and I'm feeling pretty good about my fold.
3 players, 2 all in, no more action.
The run out comes 8 of clubs, 10 of hearts, brick city for us, good fold. Under the gun shows the nut straight, and the big blind goes ahead and shows ace 3, so our low was dead. This next hand is normal PLO. We've got an ultra premium with trip aces and suited spades, so we're definitely gonna limp in from under the gun here, see a flop. We've only got $50 in our stack or thereabouts, so with $25 in the pot, 2 spades on the flop, and an overpair, we've got a pretty easy decision here to snap it all in. Or at least pot it for effectively all in. We have about $10 behind. That's not going to stop the button from giving us action. He jams. We snap it off, and we decide to run it twice. So we're going to go to 2 runouts here and see what holds. The runout comes all red cards on both boards. No aces, and really no help to me other than pairing the board with some 2s, counterfeiting his top 2 pair, and chopping the pot. Alright, not a bad result, all things considered. I had to include this ridiculous 3-way all-in and Big O. The button's got ace, ace, deuce, double suited. He's a huge favorite against the cutoff and the under the gun. And the cutoff just puts 9-10 off in front of him right before the flop comes down. The cutoff is a really cool guy who actually invited me to this home game a couple of months back, and well, his 9-10 is going to crack those aces for the side pot, and the under the gun 7-8 is going to take the main pot. Rip ace ace deuce double suited. So a bit later, we've busted, we've rebought for 100, we're sitting in the big blind. The game is no limit Big O, so 5 cards high low, no limit, and everybody limps over to me in the big blind with ace deuce suited, some other low cards. We're gonna go ahead and raise this up to 15.
I'm gonna raise.
Hopefully this will polarize some of our opponent's hands, maybe isolate a little, but if nothing else, start to build a pot here. And that's exactly what happens. As nobody folds, we get calls from every player, all the way back to the small blind, who asks a concerning question.
No limitation.
And after being reminded about the blinds, he goes ahead and rips it all in for $200. Nothing for me to do but give it a call with all the dead money on the table. Well, what I was hoping would be dead money turns into a 4-way all in. And we are headed to a run out. once the dealer can figure out all the side pots. Alright, we're eligible for a $400 main pot, and that is not the best flop for us. Kills our nut low, but we have some straight potential, and nope, we brick out. Ace-6 low, and a pair of sevens and deuces for the high. Not really expecting much here. We go ahead and turn over our ace-6 for the main pot, and well, we're matching somebody else's ace-6. So we end up chopping the low for the main pot, which is $100. Getting quartered always sucks, but somehow with this action heavy of a table, I actually made $20 getting quartered, so a good result, I guess. So in the very next hand, we have some good cards in Big O. We've got about $100 behind, and we call a $25 raise with ace 3-4, an 8, some clubs, and a king. We're going 4 ways to a $100 flop, and we hit the nut low. Not much else going on, but in position, we'll be looking to get it in here, maybe scare somebody else off. But it looks like everybody else has other plans, as the 3 players who act before me all jam all in. So we're going to go ahead and snap call here, and we'll go to a 4-way run out. The turn comes down with the 5 of diamonds, giving us the wheel. Hopefully securing our nut low. The river's a brick with the queen of spades. And they got to figure out the side pots first. Holding my breath, and I'm very excited to see that neither of them have me beat. Neither of them have the diamonds. One of them's got a set of queens and a middling low. So it's up to me and the other all in for the main pot. He looks really excited though, and sure enough, he turns over the nut diamonds for the flush. However, nobody is beating my low with the wheel, so I take half of the pot and double up to $200. So in the very next hand, I might have made a mistake in the previous one because I'm on the button in this one, but the game is Double Trouble, and that's a name that we have for double board PLO, so high hands only, and 2 boards will be dealt out. Luckily for us on this hand, we hit sets on both boards, so we go ahead and pot it to 125 in position after a few players have already called a $25 bet. My note-taking really starts to suck after my 4th hand all in a row, but a few other people jam it all in, so we're going to get it all in as well, and we're going to another run out. After some hard math, the main pot is about $650, and the run out pairs both boards, giving us 2 boats. Looks like at least one of them are going to hold. The cutoff shows Queen 10 for the better boat on board 1, but the jacks full are going to hold on board 2 for our 4th all-in a row. And making money, everyone. Let's see if it continues. And oh boy, it sure continues. We're just barely able to hit record on this river of a absolutely nutted boat in a Big O game. The opponent did not believe us when we repotted after their river bet and called us off, giving us our first clean double up to $650 for a $200 buy-in. Not too shabby. I have no idea how Rampage makes these chip shots look so smooth. Alright, this is the last hand I have for you guys tonight, and oh boy, it is a doozy. This is a game I've only heard of at this home game called Shop, Simultaneous Hold'em Omaha Pot Limit, or Sean for the no limit version. Each player in this game is dealt 6 cards and must set 2 different hands before their pre-flop action. One 2-card Hold'em hand and one 4-card Omaha hand. The pot will be split between the best Omaha hand and the best Hold'em hand. There's a $10 straddle here, so as we try and fan out 6 cards in front of the camera and eventually just give up and hold them in front of our face like a true veteran. As we get a closer look at the cards, we confirm we do have pocket aces. We're going to be setting that as our Hold'em hand, and that leaves King 10 8-8 Rainbow for our Omaha hand. So hopefully the aces will hold and maybe we'll hit something on the Omaha board.
Yes, correct.
As we get our hand set, we notice just about every player has limp called the straddle for $10. So with pocket aces, we gotta pot it. So we make it a nice healthy $55. The player on the button goes ahead and snap calls, and then the player who straddled does something pretty interesting.
Alright, I'm all in.
I knew that was gonna bother you. Thank fucking you.
I can do
I
whatever I can
fucking
do.
appreciate that.
Yep, that's right. He goes ahead and jams it all in. Well, at least as much as he can jam. It's pot limit, so we do some math and figure he can raise it to 235. I don't mind seeing this 3 ways with the buttons, so I just go ahead and make the call. The button does the same, and we're going to go ahead and see a flop. Now, before we see this flop, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out to the end of the video. This is my first vlog, and my dream is really just to be able to capture all the crazy home game action and the different types of games that people are playing, like Shop and Guts, and really just all the wild stuff that you'll never see in a casino. So if you want to see more stuff like that, please subscribe. We should hopefully have more content coming out every week. And this is where my camera dies. So yeah, definitely something to work on for next time. The flop comes down the 4 of spades, 10 of diamonds, and the 9 of clubs. So feeling pretty confident about our pocket aces at least, we go ahead and pot it for all in. The button snap calls, and we are going to a run out for a $1,400 pot, the largest cash pot that I have ever played. And what a crazy run out it is. Runner, runner straight for the Omaha hand to the jack. We've got aces in the Hold'em hand, and they hold. So we scoop a $1,400 pot, the biggest one I've ever scooped in my poker career. We punt off in a few other bomb pots, but eventually grab the rack and cash out for a total of $1,250, gaining a profit of over $1,000 for the day. Thank you guys so much for hanging out to the end. Like and subscribe, please. We'll have more content next week, and I hope you all run well.